Peter Gunnarsson can't be the outright winner of this pot. And he won't realise it.
Raised to 24,000 by Dave Colclough.
Dave at this point won't realise that Peter can't win the pot, obviously. He can only split it with him. That's his best outcome, and he can obviously lose the pot should a heart come off on the river. Peter got a little bit of studying and thinking to do here. That's the man he's studying. There's Peter studying him. Dave says, okay. There's not a lot I can do about it. He looked like with that resigned shrug. He's probably going to think before he does it, but obviously now Peter's saying he's representing the ace, giving Dave a decision. But there was kind of a resigned shrug from Dave as he went for his chips, wasn't there? It's a big decision for Dave if he gets it right. And also a big decision for him if he gets it wrong.
And off comes the glasses. And he calls.
He's gone with his gut feeling, which is what I said to you one of the two of the other matches. If you're in doubt, just go with your gut feeling. And he'll like this. Oh. Peter Gunnarsson won't like it.
Dave does have a heart draw.
So Peter Gunnarsson can't win the pot.
It's odds on a split pot, but Dave can still win it, and Dave's realised he's got a free shot now.
If it comes up a heart, Dave Colclough wins the pot. Plain and simple. And here comes the river.
It's a six of clubs, and it's going to be a split pot.
So they'll split it. Little sigh of relief from Peter Gunnarsson.
And a big sigh of disappointment from Dave Colclough. But good play by both players. And it was odds on to be a split pot, but Dave with a small glimmer of hope on the heart on the river.
6-7. Just calls.
Yeah, once again we're back to trying to play a cheap pot.
Queen 4. And Peter will let him play a cheap pot.
So we'll see the flop.
There's a 4. Checks.
4 of hearts, 5 of hearts and king of clubs is on the flop, and obviously gives Dave up and down straight draw. He has a 6-7. Peter has the best hand with the queen 4 that he's holding in his hand, which makes a pair of 4s on the flop. But once again, Peter very thoughtful.
There's the Peter eye view of Dave Colclough. You see Peter playing with his chips. That's 6,000, which he calls and raises 20,000 more.
Yeah, he's saying, well, let me see if I can make this just a bit too expensive to draw at. Looks like Dave's setting it to re-raising. We've seen this one before. He counts all the chips out and then looks at Peter for a second or two before he pushes them in. So he's representing the king here, Dave is. Also, he's got the straight draw if he does it, obviously. So he's read Peter for not having too much strength. And he's decided to just call him. He counted the chips out for the raise and then had a look across at Peter to see what the response was, didn't he? And didn't like the response too much, so thought, well, might leave it to another street, and that's exactly what he's doing. Turn card.
It's a 10.
Doesn't help Dave in his quest to make the straight, but it helps Peter a little bit. But he puts a decision back in Peter's court, and he's first to act with this pair of fours.
$30,000 the bet from Peter Gunnarsson.
What he's trying to do now is protect the four, and it's probably too expensive for Dave to draw now, so we'll see. I'll let Dave make the decision, but I think he's just burnt off more chips than he needed to on the draw.
Dave folds.
Yeah, he lets it go. He went to make the play on the flop, didn't he, to re-raise Peter Gunnarsson, and he didn't, and now he's paid the price for it.
The chip flow moving into Peter Gunnarsson's end, and you can see confirmation of that from our chip river. And there you see the, what would you call that, monster stack, big stack, pile, wall.
You just keep going. You're summing the whole lot up. There's not another way.
Tower.
There's not another way to describe it.
275.45 the count, and that's before the blinds go out. 2,000 the small blind in front of Peter, 4,000 the big blind in front of Dave, which means there's only 41 left in his stack.
Peter will be first to act.
Suited 4-9.
A quick look at Dave's cards there.
Jack deuce from Peter. He calls. Dave checks. Another cheap flop.
It's the 8 of diamonds, queen of spades, and 3 of clubs. So no immediate help through either player.
And again, they both check.
There's the deuce of hearts. That'll give Peter the pair of twos.
Again, they both check.
We'll see the river.
And the
Queen
queen's
of
paired
clubs.
on the boards.
So Peter has got the winning hand with queens and twos.
Dave bets.
Dave works out that if he checks, he can't possibly win. Peter says, right, okay, let's have a look. And Dave shakes his head and says, you must win.
And the deuces win it. And it just seems like very passive play.
Yeah, he can't afford, Dave realises now he can't afford to make a mistake, and I think he's thinking back to when he could have made a sizable bet or a raise with that previous draw that he had, when he lifted all the chips out of his stack, and he didn't do it, and now all the momentum swung back towards Peter, hasn't it? So he's probably thinking about that, Dave. You know, that would have been a different result should he swung that one round, and should this match go the wrong way, I think he'll think back to that point and may say, well, I think I might have played that one a bit different.
Peter Gunnarsson on the button.
It's hand 49 of the match.
He calls with the suited Jack 3. Dave just checks with the 8-10. We'll see another cheap flop.
Here is the flop, and it's the king of clubs, 10 of hearts, and deuce of clubs, so it helps Dave a little bit. Makes a pair, tens. He's got the odd club in his hand, which is also a bit telling in this situation. He checks it, and Peter bets it. And I think Dave will probably make some sort of play at him. Yeah,
he's going all
he
in.
says, okay, I'm all in.
And Peter folds.
And, good play from Dave there. He thought, well, I've got a good piece of this, so I'm going to play it like such. And Peter nods his head and says, yes, it was well done, but I didn't have anything really. I was just on a steal.
Jack 3 for Dave. And again calling Jack 9 suited for Peter. And after a little bit of thought, he decides to check again. Do you think he's playing into Dave's hands?
Not in this situation. He's not. He's just being very cautious. He won't realise he's in great shape here. And no, look at this flop.
3 clubs, and they've each hit a jack. Puts Dave on a flush draw as well.
But it gives the best hand, obviously, to Peter. But it's about even Stevens, because the club in Dave's hands does give him some leeway.